Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a walk around on what we have going on at the house, all the different cars that we have, some of the plans and ideas that we have, and some of the problems that we have with some of the other ones. So we're not really going to be working on anything in this video. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a lot of talking and just showing the stuff that we have.
This is a 1952 Ford Victoria, two-door hardtop. That's what I'm going to look like before I finish the car. There's no post here. If you don't know what a two-door hardtop car is, they're a little more desirable. This is two-door hardtop. I have everything to make this a complete car, believe it or not. Just a project I started and never finished. I Frenched the taillights. This car comes with a three-piece back window. It takes 3 pieces of glass for this particular model. 1952 Ford Victoria.
What do you have this set up for engine-wise?
This one is not set up for an engine yet. We need to redo the frame, make the frame all nice and pretty, take it all apart, get all the grease off of it. And we'll probably set it up for a 302 Ford, C4 automatic. Nothing too extravagant. Nice cruiser. All right, so this one is a 54 Ford Victoria. Same concept, two-door hardtop. But the roof was so badly damaged and had so much rust that we cut the roof off of it. We're gonna make the car a roadster, so no roof at all. We've already had the frame done. It's got airbags, disc brake conversion. Everything's been repainted, but I have to kind of clean it all up again. It's not 100% finished, that's for sure. This one is already airbagged all the way around, C-notched the frame. So, you guys seen in the last video, we rebuilt the carburetor on my 74 Ford Pinto. It does run and drive just fine. The brakes need to be bled, they're a little soft. I don't daily drive the car because I'd like to put a better motor in it. It smokes. You know, a few things, odd and ends. There's some things I'd like to do to it to make it more comfortable. I did put, come over here and take a look at this. I took the original seats out and I put Mazda Miata seats in there. They're actually very comfortable, very cool. I like the way they are.
They actually fit pretty good, and they're not super tall or anything.
Yeah, they're pretty close to like a stock Pinto seat.
Do you know what year?
I do not know what year they're out of.
Like a 90s, right?
Yeah, like a 90s Mazda Miata. It's got a little stereo in it so I can hear music. It just needs work. Nothing wrong with it. I can drive it right now, get on the freeway and go wherever I want to go. But I'd like to have a better motor. It smokes a little bit too much for me. So there's a future build probably for a brand new engine. And I want to change it to a 5-speed transmission and possibly put bigger brakes on it.
We actually do have another engine. It's out of a Ford Ranger. So we might be rebuilding that one. That's going to be a replacement for this.
Yeah, they build a... Ranger has a roller motor, roller head. So this is a flat tappet head. So I'd like to put a roller head on it. Gives you a little bit more horsepower. Maybe put dual carbs on there, or maybe even fuel injection. Fitech has a 2-barrel fuel injection for 2-barrel cars.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to do.
I would like to do that.
That'd be cool. There again, they're super expensive. They're not real cheap. So, I don't know.
I mean, super expensive. We're talking.
Yeah, it could be like, $1,000, $1,500.
Like 2,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 with all the fuel lines and everything, all the little bits and odds.
Just undecided if that's for me. I don't know. I'd like to just drive the car.
So this is my 1961 Ford Falcon. For the most part, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I'm having some problems with the engine making some ticking noise. It sounds like it could be a lifter, push rod that's the wrong length, or maybe a rocker arm or something like that. I'm gonna be looking in and trying to get that fixed, or I'm gonna fix it. I just haven't taken it apart to figure out what's wrong with it, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this car. I do want to put some new seats for the driver and passenger, and then tidy up a couple of things like the blinker switch, but for the most part, there is nothing like majorly wrong with this car. It runs and drives just fine. I gotta fix the rocker arms, maybe put some different wheels on it. I'm getting kind of tired of the wheels that are on it. This does have a late model 5.0, has a cam in it from Comp, has aluminum Ford racing heads on it, ported intake manifold. It's an Edelbrock Performer RPM with the fitech fuel injection. It's got C4 transmission with a first stage shift kit in it, and it's got 325 gears in the rear. It's got subframe connectors on it. This thing is pretty quick. It's definitely a sleeper.
So one day I woke up and had a brain fart about buying one of these little Hondas, and it turned out there was some guy selling all 4 of these for a deal. So I made a deal with the guy to buy all 4 of these little Hondas. The 1975 first generation Honda. The little brown one is a 1974. None of them run and drive. They are definitely project cars, you can tell. I want to put a newer model engine in it, little 5-speed, something to zip around town. I don't know quite yet what we're doing. Maybe even do a body kit, do a box flare or a bubble flare body. They're actually pretty cool little cars, and they get great gas mileage. I think these things get like over 40 miles to the gallon in 1975 or 1974, and today we can't even get a car to do that without being some astronomical price.
So my dad has already claimed the little brown one. He's already claimed that one as his. So I have these 3 to pick from. And I'm not entirely sure. I do have an idea. I do want to do one that's going to be kind of like a wide body with bags, laid on the ground, straight cruiser. But this is 75, 75, 75, and he said 73.
Yeah, 70.
I was thinking about doing a will it start video. 2 of them, the engine is locked up, but the other 2, I don't know which ones at this point, but 2, the engines are locked up, and when I have 2 that the engines spin freely. So I want to try to do a will it run, maybe try to get one of these little Hondas to get running. I think this one for sure, this little orange one here, this is a 5-speed. This is,
yeah, it's a complete car.
what size engine does this one have?
You know, it's either a 1500 or a 1200. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't even know how to find out. But it is a 5-speed car.
Yeah, this is a 5-speed car, and I would like to do will it start with this one, and if this one doesn't want to start, well then we'll try the other one. Both of these little yellow ones here are automatics. So one of these little yellow ones, the engine's locked up, the other one spins freely. And then little brown one here, the engine is locked up on this one too. And this one's a 4-speed, right?
This is a 4-speed car. It's complete, but unfortunately the engine's locked up. We could try to unlock it, put some stuff down the cylinders, try to make it so we can unlock the motor, which we might do that. I don't know. It's got a little stock 2-barrel carburetor on there. We're not sure yet.
So he actually picked this one because the other 3, their hatches were, obviously the back of it opens up like a little hatchback.
Yeah, that one opens up.
Can you open this one?
A little
Yeah,
hatchback.
this one's a little hatchback. But the little brown one,
The little brown one, I don't have the key to show you right now, but the little brown one is actually a trunk. It doesn't have a hatchback. It looks like a hatchback, but it's a trunk model. Pretty cool.
you should
Well,
go. You
they're
should get
kind of rare.
I have 2 other cars over here that we are also going to talk about. This one we're not going to talk about, and this one we're not going to talk about. These ones do not belong to us. But the Hondas are cool. We don't know anything about the Hondas. He had one when he was in his early 20s. He had one of these little Hondas. I've never messed with one of the Hondas. Or will it run on one of them? We'll try to get one of them running. So this is another one of my cars. This is my 1954 Mercury Monterey. I think it's called a Monterey, right?
It might be called Monterey.
Something like that.
But you know, there again, another one of those projects. And
we're not.
as you can see, it's got the Flintstone floor.
Yeah, we cut the whole floor out because the floor was completely rusted out. So there is no floor in it. I do have a floor to put in there though. And another problem with this car is that the roof is all rusted out. You can see that the roof is toast. Also on that other side, it's all toast.
This is going to be another one of those lead sleds.
Yeah, this is supposed to be what I consider to be a traditional custom when I get to it. Gonna shave the door handles. It's gonna be bagged with the real thin white wall tires. It's gonna lay on the ground.
We have an extra roof for it right there. That's in pretty good shape. So we might graft that roof into this car and then we'll chop it.
Yeah, we have to get, what is it called?
What?
The back window surround. What year? 49 through 50?
I don't know. We might do like a 49 through 50 Mercury back window. We're undecided at this moment.
Yeah, it's
I
just,
don't know.
this is a project for way in the future. But the reason why I really like the 54 Merc is actually I've always wanted a Mercury because my dad had one when I was little. He used to pick me up in elementary school. He actually did a burnout in front of the school. All the kids thought it was really cool. But this car has these fins on the back and the taillight goes right here and it all sticks out like a big fin on the 54 Merc. And I think that's super cool.
Could be a real nice car. It's just going to take some time. It's not that we can't get it done. It's just going to take some time. And we also have everything to complete this car. This is a complete car.
Yeah.
We have everything for it. A lot of it's actually brand new in boxes and already re-chromed and all put away. So it's a matter of just kind of getting time to put it together. So over here, we got a 51, I think it is, shoebox.
And this one is actually a business coupe model, right?
Yeah, this is a business coupe that somebody cut the roof off of it. And you can see here where they welded it back together again. So I've been collecting parts for this car for years.
And I think we were talking about cutting the roof off of it again.
Yes, we're probably going to cut the roof. This is going to be a Roadster also.
You had an idea of painting it black. You wanted it black?
I want it black with the chrome, with all the chrome striping on the side.
So this is called a business coupe model because this is longer.
Yeah, the tail pan is really long here. The roof is really short.
The idea was to give the guy back in the 50s who was a businessman, the idea was to give him more trunk space for his suitcases, his whatever he needed for his business. That's why they came up with the business coupe model.
These are the guys who use these cars to go house to house selling stuff. But I have a complete front end, fenders, hood, grill surround, and since we're going to cut the roof off of it, I actually have convertible doors. So the doors were really, really hard to come by. They're very expensive. So
yeah, because these ones are cut, right?
Yeah, somebody cut these ones.
Yeah, someone.
But see, we don't have any of that stuff.
Because there's usually the piece of metal that goes around.
Right, all the way around.
And someone, they just cut it off there and cut it off here. So these doors are junk unless you want to weld all that stuff back on.
So this car does need a lot of work. It has some rust. The good thing about this car is they make all replacement panels for it. You can buy them brand new. And whatever you can't buy, you just make it. Somebody cut the frame to put, I'm assuming, a small block Chevy in it, which you never have to cut the frame to put a small block Chevy in it. So we'll probably fix that, or we'll get a different frame, and I'll make it look like it never happened. And then I'll put a small block Ford back in it.
And we do all of our own custom fabricating. He's really good at it. He'll take a flat piece of metal and he'll shape it into something. Me, I know how to weld. I'm not as good as him, obviously, but I haven't really had a car to where I need to do a whole lot of fabricating work. That's where this car comes in. I plan on doing a lot of the fabricating and learning more and more from my dad when it comes to metal work with this car, because this is going to be chopped and bagged, and it's going to have all the custom suspension that we do.
I mean, we definitely don't know everything, and it doesn't mean we can't try. That's what it's all about, trying to make something out of nothing and having a good time and then drive it to a car show.
Yeah.
That's
So This car is actually pretty desirable. I've actually had one offer on this car, but I decided that I don't want to sell it. I'm not selling my cars. I always tell my dad that I'm starting my collection young.
The actual frame for that car is over here. The frame that it's sitting on is actually an extra frame that we have. This is the frame for that car. And they were actually going to throw it away, so they cut it up. And I got the frame back, and I put it right back together. You can see where the frame was completely cut in half, and we sleeved it and welded it back together again, because this is the matching numbers frame to that car, and I wanted to keep it that way.
The VIN matches that body.
Yeah.
So this is the original frame for that car. And I do have some pictures. I don't have any video. This is probably like 4 years, 5 years at this point that I've had this car, and it's kind of been like this. But I do have some pictures of when the car first showed up at our old house, and I'll include that in the video so you guys can see what it first came, because it was literally a body on a dolly and the frame showed up in pieces.
So we measured it all up, got it all put back together correctly, sleeved it, stronger than it was factory. It's all welded back together again. Never going to have any issues. And the reason why we did that is because it does have the correct numbers, and because it's a 54, you can convert the drum brakes into disc brakes. So these are very good, desirable frames, and they ride really well.
That's going to be the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. We're going to be working on some of these cars in the future. I want you guys to think about, I have a regular job, my dad has a regular job, I'm not making money on YouTube, and these are going to be just future projects. We don't have a ton of money to be doing all of these projects all at once. I don't have anyone that's, no sponsors or anything like that. This is just, everything we do is with my money and products that I truly like. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more.
Don't forget the ding ding.
Don't forget to turn on the bell. You don't know which one we're going to do next. I'm going to be working on the Falcon in a future video. I want to get those rocker arms situated. And then maybe we'll be working on the Honda. Maybe we'll be working on one of the Fords in the garage. I'm not entirely sure yet. It just kind of all depends on what we feel like doing. But I want to work on one of these Hondas. I want to try to get one of them running. But thanks for watching.